Gentlemen, bear with me real quick. I just want to ask a couple of questions. This kind of hit me at lunch after I left the gym. And I was like, man, you done made like 3 posts in a row. Just leave it alone. Go on about your business. You shouldn't care. It's not your fight. It ain't up to you. Let me ask you this. Can you do, and I'm talking to the man, can you do at least 30 to 50 push-ups completely? Can you squat your body weight at least 50 to 100 times? Can you do at least 15 to 20 dips? And can you do at least 10 to 15 pull-ups? I'm asking that because how do you know what your survivability is? You have any idea? How do you know how well you're going to work out if a bad situation, a bad scenario comes up? Did you know, for some of y'all that collect these tennis shoes, where tennis shoes now are like up to $200,000, $19,000, $30,000. I mean, they're up there. I remember when I was a kid, we bought shoes for performance. I still buy them for performance, but I buy them on the dad's rack. And I'll get Merrell boots for the range. I'll get some Hokas. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Hokas, Under Armours, or Reeboks, or Adidas for the gym. And usually my tennis shoes, I'm not paying more than $40 or $60. If they're $60, they got to be a pair of shoes I really want for some particular training reason. But usually I buy shoes, blacks or grays or dark blues, a color that matches most of my workout equipment that also came from the dad's rack. I don't spend more than $40. I don't believe shoes should cost more than tires. Tires give you about 300-something thousand miles. I don't think that shoes and clothes should cost more than a gas tank. But the reason why I asked about survivability, because I notice a lot of people are buying things that don't allow them to go forward in bad times. Like, I've seen guys with these glass boxes and they got tennis shoes in them. And I know maybe I'm a relic. I don't know. But I'm looking at the price of the tennis shoes in this guy's closet, and I'm like, he's got more tennis shoes than I got bullets and guns, price tag wise, in my armory. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at the house, and I'm looking at his posture, and I'm looking at, he just got like that Jay-Z body build. Y'all know what I mean. Like, good for stage presence, but if you had to throw them things without a weapon, you dead in the water. So I'm asking this question because I really do feel that something gonna pop off, and it's gonna be out of all of our control. Even though I said, if this man gets in office, we're gonna have 34 to 38 months. If that doesn't come, the alternate is gonna happen, which means they don't want the herd to survive. They want to cull it down quicker. They want to burn the whole farm and see what animals crawl from the ashes. And so all these movies you watch, like The Purge, that's the alternate route to the regaining of success and financial wealth. He's like, man, just get rid of them all and let's do Elysium. I don't know how much time we got, but man, I'm telling you, you can buy bullets in bulk, 5, 6, 12 gauge, 9 mil. It doesn't take more than $400 to $600 to get yourself a sidearm. It doesn't take more than $1,200 to get yourself a rifle. And if you're smart, you can buy like a Glock and a Vector combination like me and my wife got. You know what I mean? Or both mags fit all 4 guns. But I just really want y'all to think about your survival rate. I want you to go in there. If you're a single man, look at how your house is set up and where it's set up. Is it in an urban environment? Is it in the city? Because your survival and your task and plan is going to be 2 different types of exit strategies. Within 72 hours of when the ball drops, that's when the looting, the robbing, and everybody's going to lose their SHIT and start doing crazy stuff. Your next door neighbor going to be out the chain because people are going to go after targets that they know. Most crimes are committed by people who've either watched you heavily or people you know. When you've been robbed, you've probably been robbed by somebody who knew what was in your house. So I just want you to just take this weekend, if we have it, to assess, because if they plan on doing anything, they want to do it during the winter. Everybody's in one spot. It's easy to hit multiple targets. Ain't nobody out in the street. Everybody ain't at the clubs all over the place. The winter, the population tends to settle down. And if you don't know it, people have the technology to see the whole nation by cellular data, which means you're an icon. I think I told you this before. Men are squares, women are circles. And depending on your cultural background, your circle or your square will either be green, white, blue, black, yellow, red. And I think one of those is a protective color, which means don't touch. You know what I mean? Like they put the red jersey on the football player. Yeah, because I don't see as many reds as I do blue, blacks, greens, and yellows. See a lot of blacks and browns. You know, a lot of blacks and browns, a lot of those, but you don't see as much. But think about what type of car you're going to have. What type of stuff can you pack in a car? If you do exit your premises or your home, where do you go? Do you have a tent? Do you have plasma lighters? You know, plasma lighters is something you use with solar chargers, something you capture the sun. So that means you constantly have energy for your plasma lighter. Do you have a survival knife? A survival knife is different than a folding knife. A survival knife has a heavy head. It has a slender body. You can hack branches. You can hack off small wood and timber. You can chisel. You can make whatever that stuff is that you can carry in a bag on your person to keep it from getting wet to easily start a fire. I forgot what it's called. It's just off the top of my head. But it's shavings of wood or pieces of hay or shredded newspaper, whatever it takes for you to take that little flint and make a big fire from it. And something I found out not too long ago, a slice of an onion, shampoo, and a teaspoon of super glue, if you stir that up in about 4 to 8 ounces of water, it turns into a fire. It won't explode, it will just ignite. So you can do it safely as an experiment. Do it first as an adult before you show your kid. But back, stay on target. What is your exit strategy? How do you keep your family safe? What's the thing? What's going to happen? Because pretty much with me and my kids and our 3 vehicles, we're just going to convoy. We got the electric and we got 2 gas vehicles. And of course, the S-Class is going to be the one that's going to get it in, you know? The GLS and the daggone, what's that thing called? The Tesla. That's going to be carrying, you know, family members and supplies. But, you know, right now, from what I see, I don't have whatever that Cybertruck is. I think it's bulletproof. I don't have one of those, so the S-Class is going to have to do for the run and gun because it's got good acceleration, it has automatic pilot, so it allows me to shoot and drive. That's not the reason why I bought it. I bought it for my wife. But anyway, it's a Mother's Day gift. But what is your survival strategy? Do you know how to get to where you need to get to? Can you drive your car in an urban environment without exterior lights, without your lights being on? You know, do you know how to move silently? You know, I don't know, man, it's been pegging me because I've seen a lot of soft-ass dudes walking around today. And I'm thinking to myself, like, am I crazy? Am I losing it? Am I a Looney Tune? Am I just asking questions that don't need to be asked? Should I just go along my way and just be like, oh, it's just happy, nothing's gonna happen. I'm a father and a husband, I don't have any responsibility. You know, I'm just wondering. Because I guess what got to me, because I've been waiting on some ammunition. And I'm like, I don't like buying ammunition in the mail, but I got to. It's that effect that it has of being able to get 1,100 rounds on time when you need them. I don't know, man. It's like, I hope these young men make a comeback for their sake, their future wife's sake, their children's sake. I hope they make a comeback. I hope they got a plan. I hope they want to be a man. There's a lot of things on my mind, but it's like tennis shoes is a big thing. Fashion is a big thing. I seen a guy with a purse today, and I was like, dang, he really is rocking that like you need. And I'm like, how much stuff does a man carry that you need a purse? Like, I got my cell phone. I got my little metallic case wallet, you know, so that my cards are protected. Because if any of y'all ever played the game Watch Dogs, there's an emulator for a cellular device. The same way you tap your card on the reader at the store, a person can walk by and pull data from your card. They can pull not only data, money. You know what I'm saying? It's called, back in the day, I think with the CIA, it was called Man Overboard. The program was, I think it said MOB. But Man Overboard allows you to use an emulator, and now the emulator is a cellular device. It's an app. And you can target people who don't have casings or protective sleeves on their card and pull money from them. Did y'all know that exists? That technology is like 17 years old. So they really got it perfected now. They probably can do it with a watch. They probably would do it with digital glasses. They can do it with anything. But I'm just asking, how prepared are you? Because I was going to start this video off kind of bad, and TikTok probably wouldn't have let it play. How many of y'all are ready to LIVE? And then I was going to ask you questions about exercise, survivability, preparedness, strength. Like, could you get a person up off you that had a weapon? Do you know how? Do you know how to stand up against a person that does have a weapon? Whether it's a sharp edge weapon or blunt force trauma weapon like a bat or something. Do you know what you're doing? You know what I mean? Have you ever taken a boxing class, a wrestling class? Have you ever taken a Muay Thai class, Taekwondo, karate, jiu-jitsu? Can you sprint 50 to 60 yards between, 45 to 60 seconds? 60 seconds is a minute. That's pretty damn slow. Can you maneuver enough where a person can get a decent sight picture on you and knock you down with a 3-round burst or control pair? You know what I mean? Do you know how to maneuver from gunfire? Zig right, 3 steps, zig left. Then zig right, 3 steps, then zig left, 2 steps. So you get him off his breathing pattern so he can't sight in on you. You're going to make a 5-step maneuver, which is 3 right, 2 left, or 3 left, 2 right. Either way, it's going to get him off the side, but he's going to figure out your pattern if you don't get in cover within 40 to 30 seconds. That's too long. If you don't get into cover within 15 seconds, 8 to 15 seconds is what you got for the average sight pitch. And it depends on the range of how far this person is away from you. But what is your survivability rating? What would you, on a scale of 1 to 10 this weekend, I want you to think about, what is your survivability rating? Is it low 3s, 5s? Can't use 7 like Kevin Samuels said. Is it 6? Is it 8, 9, or 10? If you're 8, 9, or 10, man, then don't worry about what I'm talking about. But if you're below 7, then you need to, what's the word I'm looking for, Xander? You need to work on that a little bit, You really need to work on that, man. I don't want to do another post. It was bugging me because I was looking at the guys in the gym and they had the t-shirts on, they had the tops off, and I was like, God, why is there so many young guys in here with breasts? And maybe it don't mean nothing. I mean, one of the strongest men in the world, Mark Henry, he has breasts and he lifts like 1,000 pounds. But I don't think he's functional enough when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. He may be strong, but what does all that strength get you? You know what I mean? So, what's your survivability rating? Me? We got 1,700 properties in here. 1,200 of them are full of operators and combat vets, so we ain't leaving and going nowhere. We're going to stand our ground. But I really want you to do a physical combat assessment of your environment, of your home, of your area, of your cars. Run scenarios in your mind, in your head. Like, if somebody came through this door, what's the plan? If somebody went through this door, what's the plan? If somebody's downstairs, what's the plan? If somebody's upstairs, what's the plan? Are you willing to take a shot if somebody's holding your child hostage? Are you good enough with your firearm that you can take a headshot if somebody's holding your child hostage? What type of shooting groups do you practice at the range? Do you have a generator? You have solar panels. You have ups. Even if the neighborhood is out, you can't run exterior or interior lights. You got to keep a low frequency. You don't want the neighbors to know that after 30 or 60 days, you got food, you got power. People go crazy when they go without. The most civilized people be the worst people in the world because the most civilized people have never been through any hardships. So therefore, they're going to go even nuttier when that growling, that thirst, the toilet don't flush. It's certain scenarios. The difference between civilians and combat vets, as we knew the Army dropped us off in a bad situation, didn't give us no food and water. It was like, survive, But just run a scenario through your head. Run a plan of action. Talk the plan of action to your spouse. Teach your kids, certain running passwords or nighttime identifiers, like knocking on the floor, knocking on the closet door, sticking 2 fingers underneath the door or 1 finger under the door on situational awareness. 1 finger means I'm good, Dad. 2 fingers means somebody's in here with me, Dad. You see what I'm saying? So you know how to go and breach the objective. But I don't know, man. The gym was packed at lunch, and I guess people are trying to get their New Year's resolution in quicker. It's not even December yet. And I was just so amazed at how many bad body guys were in there. And these are guys in the operational community. That's what got me. These ain't regular soldiers. These are guys in the operation community. And I was looking, I was like, God damn, has the Army changed that much since I left? I know I'm a weirdo. I be thinking of stuff I shouldn't think of, right, son? He ain't gonna say nothing. Xander, you hear me? Sir. But I just, what is your preparedness level? If things do go wrong and things don't go right and 2025 don't come here like we expected with the ball dropping in New York, the Big Apple, what is your plan to continue family operations? Like, you got MREs, you got a water supply. I think every home, depending on how many people's in your home, there should be 2 cases of water per child. 2 cases of water per child, 2 cases of water per adult. For hygiene, for hydration. I mean, if you got to make soup, obviously you have to add water and certain vegetables that you get or find or got saved, plus the canned goods to make junk man stew. That's what junk man stew is when you ain't got nothing else to eat and you got to feed people. You throw a little bit of canned goods in there, and hopefully that beef stew will last you. You boil it and you let it cook slow. You know, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. You know what I'm saying? So I just, and I'm not picking on you. I just want you to look and identify the weak spots in your home, in your dwelling, in the way y'all carry business, because people are so on social media. People are not looking up. People are not paying attention. And at the same time, when I was walking back, it was cold. I wore this stupid short sleeve. I didn't think it was going to be that cold. But I tried to harden myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I walked up here, I can walk back. And the walk back was horrible because I had calmed down. I had lifted. I was exhausted. So that mile and a half back, man, I felt like a fool. I was like, oh, this is unpreparedness. But I didn't want to carry a jacket. I said, you know, I'm going to go hard in paint until real winter shows up. But I don't know. I saw a lot of aircrafts on the posters doing some maneuvers that were just reminding me of 2000. You know, and I was like, you know how you get flashback memories? You've been in the military long enough. You notice that they repeat patterns every 7 to 10 years. And I just saw a repetitive pattern in there, and I didn't like it. And I was like, man, is anybody even asking these questions? And I saw so many of them guys. They had the Declaration of Independence tattooed on their arm. I'm like, how does that work in a foreign country if you're not trying to identify as an American? If you're an operative, you don't want to be seen with stuff like that on you. But I don't know, some things are different. But yeah, what is your preparedness level? What are you ready for? What are you ready to do? You know, that's all I'm asking, man. I didn't know where they wanted to take this, but instead of collecting shoes and video games, computers and laptops and whatever, you know, fun time stuff you do, think about some wartime efforts too. Think about some protective measures. Think about emergency stuff. Like, you know, we got a 3-story house, and it's like, I make sure I keep a ladder near my house, not for somebody to go into my daughter's bedroom, but just in case I had to get my children out of the bedroom because somehow through a fire hazard, things will cut off, you know? And I practice these drills with my kids. Like, hey, this is what you do in case of fire. See this little thing, this mag light you got on your bed? You break the window out, you crack all the way around the seals, you make sure there's no glass, you throw your pillow over the windowsill, you crawl out, and the ladder should be waiting, or I'm going to come up here and get you. We know how to get off the balcony. You know, you climb over the balcony, you lower down to the most you can with the poles vertically, hold it, then you get to the floor, and you let yourself drop. It's only maybe an 8 to 10 foot drop, you know? Just do an assessment, man. I don't know, YouTube it. I don't want to, damn, this is 18 minutes. YouTube it. Figure out what a security assessment is of yourself, of your family, of your home, of your area. And have, you know, LPOP areas, a place where you can gather information visually. You can see things coming from a long ways. And where can you go when you use your, what's that thing called? Your go bag. Where exactly can you go safely where no one will see the smoke from your flames, won't see the little fires that you make, where you can be in an enriched environment. You can silently hunt small game with a slingshot or a bow and arrow. Get yourself a bow and arrow. Get yourself a survival bow and arrow. It comes in 3 pieces. You got the place you hold. It's got the things. It got the little quivers. And it's got the actual string. And they got different heads on them. Heads that you can retrieve back. You don't want the multi-tip that sticks. You want something that goes into something, take it down. You can pull it out, rinse it off, use it again. Reusable arrows. You know, and get yourself a good skinning knife, a good buck knife, a good survival knife. 3 knives. Get yourself an axe. You know, whether it's a fighting axe like the one I wear on my armor kit, but I can use that axe to manipulate the environment, you know? Just start looking at survival videos, man. Start looking at how to start fire, get water, clean water, whether you're near bamboo or you got some PVC pipes, you're near a trash dump. Find out ways to make potable drinking water with nothing, you know? That's all I want to say. Peace.